Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new Rocksville News Network. Later today, the new Rocksville Democrat and Republican primary debates will air on this channel, so please be sure to go out and vote for your selected party and your preferred candidate. But in the meantime, today, Mayor Salvatore L is going to have a chat with our other news reporter, Leo DiAprio, about current policies regarding immigration that President Trump has implemented. We now go to Mayor Salvatore L and news reporter Leo DiAprio at the Cinema Grizzly Holdings. Leo, we're heading over to you.
All right, thank you, Elmo, and thank you for having me here, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for being here. Now, listen, we just want to go over some things real quick. Get your opinion on some of President Trump's policies regarding immigration, just as a checkup for the public. I'll do my best to answer. Sweet. As you probably don't know, whatever the case, on May 7th, 2018, the Department of Justice, DOJ, implemented a zero-tolerance policy towards illegal border crossing. This policy detained and persecuted alien adults who tried to cross the border illegally, regardless of whether or not they were seeking asylum. I just want to get your thoughts on that. Where do you stand on that?
See, this is where I get a lot of controversy, because either way, somebody is going to be mad at me. So it's like, what do I do here? Here's the thing. When President Trump was first elected, I was very supportive of him, very pro-MAGA. And to this day, I still am a little bit MAGA, but it's different now, in the sense that if I could redo the 2024 presidential elections, and if I had to pick one of them, yeah, Trump would still probably be my go-to ally. And I mean, he probably should be. I go golfing with the guy every Wednesday. But it's just, I've seen him perform administration-wise, and I'm probably not going to get a lot of love for this, but, from the Republicans, but I don't agree with everything he's doing or has done. This is one of them. Because here's the deal. We, as a country, need to do a better job at being able to tell who is a violent terrorist that is just trying to destroy America. Because, don't get me wrong, they do exist. Some people do come here from foreign countries to cause harm. But there's also the people that come from, these disastrous places. And, you'll find that the left argues this a lot. They'll say, well, they come from different countries, where things are not as peaceful as America. There's violence, there's destruction. Places like Russia and China, North Korea, communism. There's communism it's everywhere. And although I'm not 1,000% a Republican, I am a capitalist. I am anti-communist for sure. So I understand in a way what it's like to want to come to this country from one of those countries to try and seek asylum. And I do believe that as a country, if we're not trying to do so already, we should be trying to do a better job at figuring out who is a terrorist versus who is just trying to make a life for themselves here in America.
No, you're exactly right, Mr. Mayor, exactly right. During all these acts and stuff, there'd be a lot of families separated, because ICE and the DHS, they would separate a lot of the families. Nope, I don't agree with that either. I mean, to me, I view it from both perspectives. On one hand, yes, it's inhumane, and yeah, on the other hand, though, they're coming to the country illegally, and our biggest concern is, keeping our citizens safe, not necessarily the rest of the world.
And again, this is where I say, if we can do something to make the situation better, then let's do it. But if it's too much trouble for us and it's going to start affecting the taxpayers, then don't worry about it. As much as I would like to see families, brought back to their native countries together, unseparated, that's not our problem. I do see it from the Democrat point of view, where we should strive to keep families together. But on the other hand, if you're coming to our country and you're coming here illegally, you're not trying to seek asylum, you're not trying, to follow the rules and wait in line like everyone else has to. If you're here, to cause chaos, and you're here with your family, and you get separated, hey, listen, I'm not saying the family should be separated, but that's not our problem. We have a duty to protect our own citizens. It's our duty to protect our citizens first. That's what I care about, is our citizens. And again, just to reiterate, if they want to come into the country legally and they want to, just live a better life, all that stuff, I support it 100%. And I am a huge fan of immigration, but it's got to be hard-working, honest people, not terrorists and not people that want to murder your children. Honest, hard-working people. That's what I can get behind. I'm sure 65% of the population would agree with you, sir. Okay? Now, obviously, you understand, during the first month of the Biden administration, the DOJ cut this zero-tolerance policy. And, not too long after that, a federal judge ordered that all children, that were separated from their families, they got to be reunited immediately. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter when, they got to be reunited immediately. Now, see, if it doesn't matter what administration it is, if a federal judge were to do that, I would agree with it. It doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican. If they were to do that, I would agree with it. Right. So you get it. Now, sir, I don't know if you've seen the charts, but according to multiple sources, Biden's administration actually detained more illegal immigrants than Trump in his first administration. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
See, if you were to have said that to me probably about a year ago, I would have told you fake news. It's all wrong. And I'll say this, while I have been to the border myself, and I have seen ICE officers, I've seen it all. Here's the thing. A year ago, I would have told you, no way, the numbers are great, ICE is doing their job, it's perfect. Today, however, I will say this. I have nothing but respect for our ICE officers and our first responders and everyone else in our police department. With that being said, there are places across the country where, there's illegal immigrants and things are being destroyed, and there's a total loss of integrity, and there's a total loss of the need to get first responders on the scene. It's happening all over the world now. You take a look at Britain, there's people chanting that they want to do evil things to Nick Shirley, and officers have he's saying they've literally turned the other way, turned the other cheek. Look at Paris, the Eiffel Tower is on fire. You look at Italy, what they're doing to Rome, and it's quite sad.
I get it, Mr. Mayor, I get it. And, as a fellow Italian, it really hurts to find out that they have done that to Rome, where they're letting in terrorist migrants and they're destroying Rome, and it's not good. as a fellow Italian, I have to tell you, it hurts me too. You get it. I get it, sir. All right, I think we've covered most of the questions. There's just one last thing I want to talk to you about. So, you might understand that we've talked about separating families and, intense labor. And of course, there's the strain on Latin countries in Southern America, especially, that still have to get used, if they haven't already, to Trump's new policies. But there's also been cry about labor demands.
Labor demands? What do you mean, labor demands?
Well, ever since President Trump took over, you saw a lot less migrants doing blue-collar jobs and things like that.
Yeah. There would be people that would do that. Some people would hire, illegal migrants. I'll pay you, come work for me. But meanwhile, there's real Americans who are struggling to get jobs, and we don't want to hire them. So I think we ought to be redirecting these companies to hire Americans instead of trying to fill quotas or tick boxes. Just hire people for their skill and for, what they can do. I mean, after all, that's how we pick our leaders. The country has picked Trump to lead because he has proven to them that he can do the job that is required as president, compared to the corpse that we had for 4 years. Yeah. I'd say we should take the guy that says, hey, I can do the job, over the guy, or the lady rather, that says, hey, I'm the vice president of Joey B, who's in office, but he's a corpse. I don't know, that's just my personal stance on it. Take it or leave it.
Too right, Mr. Mayor, too right. All right, that concludes the interview. Thank you for being on our interview, sir.
Thank you for having me.